Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be starting a new series, hopefully, where we cover the basics of Unreal Engine editor for Fortnite. At first, it's very overwhelming what to actually do in this sort of editor. So in this episode, I'm just going to run over the basics and we are going to learn how to do some basic landscaping. So the first thing we're going to want to do is create a blank template. So you can start with one of the presets, but I find it easiest just to start with a blank template. So we're going to create that and we're just going to name this project. You can really name it whatever you want. I'm going to name it test project. And just with the name, you got to make sure you don't have any spaces or anything like that. So after you've done that, just hit create. Alrighty, and once you're loaded in, you should see a couple things. So first, we've spawned in and you can use your right mouse button to look around and your WASD to move around. You'll see around the project, there's many different things. So we'll start with the top row. So here we've got what type of edit mode we want to be on. We've got a bunch of settings here. One thing you can change is your camera speed. So if you find you're going too fast or too slow, you can go up or down with that. I find 6 is usually good, makes it easy to go around fast. Along the side, you'll find everything that's currently in your map. And here's where you'll be able to view the details for your whatever you have selected, basically. So select the spawn pad and you see we've got all the options for it. Along the bottom here, we have the content browser, and this is basically where you're going to pull all your assets from. So if you're using anything from Fortnite, you can pull everything from here. Anything from Epic, you can use from here. This is where you can upload your own content for the project. So for example, if I want to upload a certain prop or something, I can upload it here, have the texture as well, and then I'm able to drag my props in that onto my world. But for today's episode, we're just going to focus on the basics of landscaping, which is probably the first thing you want to learn. Well, I think so when you load into Unreal Engine for Fortnite. The first thing we're going to do is head into landscape mode. So if you see up the top here, it says selection mode, and you switch to landscape mode. After you've switched it to landscape mode, you'll find that a grid has spawned in because you'll need to create a landscape first. And you'll see you'll be able to change the size, the location, the rotation, and basically anything you want to change about the prop before you place it. But just for now, we're going to leave it on 100, 100, 100 for the scale. So for now, we'll just leave everything the same and we'll hit create. After that's loaded, you should see you have a nice big grassy plain. Once you've created your segment, you'll see there's a sculpt tab. We've got a couple features here. I'll start with the sculpt. You're able to change different settings about each tool. So for sculpt, we're able to change the strength, the size, and the fall off. For now, let's make the strength about maybe 700. And as you can see, when we press down, we're able to sculpt massive terrain. And it's really easy. You just click down on wherever you want to create the terrain and you'll make these huge hills. If you want smaller hills, you're able to drag the strength down and you'll see we'll just get a smaller rise in our hills. And if we want a smaller size, obviously we're able to draw that down a bit as well. And as you can see, we can just easily create terrain. Now let's say we don't like something we've done. So for example, this little mess here, and I want to erase it, I can just do that. And we can change the strength with that as well as the size and fall off. Our next tool is arguably one of the most important, which is the smooth tool. Let's drag up the size a little and the strength. And you'll see when we click, we're able to smooth out these mountains. So we'll get more of an even top. Makes it easier to build and to place structures on these hills you've created. So you see that what we erased earlier, we've just smoothed out completely. So we've got a much nicer sort of cliff there than we did before. Our next tool is the flatten tool. Again, this is sort of similar to the smooth tool. We select a different spot with a certain height. So for example, if I'm selecting right here, it's going to even everything out to that height. So we're going to get a nice flat area where we can build. The next tool that we have is the ramp tool. So this is a little different. We're going to select a point. So for example, I want to select at the top of this little flat area I've made, I want to make a ramp down. And we're going to then select our second point. And as you can see, you'll have a little ramp that's formed here. Now, if you just hit enter, you'll see that the ramp gets created. It'll push other terrain out the way to make room for the ramp. If you're not happy with the position, you can drag it out. You can move it however you like, up or down, cross, whatever you want. And you just want to hit enter again, and you've got lovely terrain. And as always, we want to drop the size down a little, drop down the strength a little, and just smooth that out a bit. And just like that, we've got a nice sort of ramp we've created there. Some of the other tools as well you can use to create like different effects. So for example, if we want a piece of terrain we want to mirror, we can use this tool to mirror it, and it will copy it on the exact other side, so you can make nice canyons and stuff. But in terms of terrain, the main things you want to be aware of is how to use the sculpt tool and the different tools in order to make sort of a nice terrain that you're happy with and that can be suitable for your builds. The next thing we're going to be covering is the paint tool. So you can use this to change the material of whatever the ground is. So for example, let's use sand, and let's say we want to add, I don't know, maybe a sandy dune area around here. So on top of this cliff, of course, we change the brush size, change the strength a bit. And as you can see, we can just nicely put down some sand along here. And just like that, we have a nice sandy terrain. Now there's lots of different materials you can use, obviously. So here we've got dirt. That's probably one of the most important ones you're going to want to use. We've got some mud, which after it loads in, there we go. So you can use this for the bottom of lakes and stuff. Here we've got concrete, I presume. And you can use this to create roads or footpaths or anything like that. Here we've got rainforest grounds. And finally, we've got gravel. That looks really good. So you've got lots of different grounds you can use. If you're not happy with anything you've done, just Control Z to undo it. Once you're happy with everything you've created in this world, so let's say I'm just going to quickly add some dirt here. Just a bit of dirt, you know. Nothing much, a bit soft. Just a patch of dirt. Perfect. Once I'm happy with everything I've done, I just want to hit the launch session button, save selected. And after a bit of loading, the game should open up. So as you can see, we've finally loaded in. And if I double tap space and turn phase on, you'll see that the spawn point was in the mountains we've created. But as you can see here, we have our whole mountain range. We have the little ramp we made earlier, right here. Beautiful. We've got the little dirt patch we made, very nice. And of course, we've got these nice, smooth, beautiful mountains we've made. And with our beautiful terrain that we've just created, if we open up the nature gallery, or any gallery we want to really, and we equip one of the trees, so I really like this one, we're able to just really place it down, put it anywhere we want, and it works just like a creative island. So you can resize anything, put it down wherever you want. And then next time you restart your UEFN project, you'll be able to see the trees and stuff you've just added into your project, which is really cool. So it gives you the option of either placing these in Unreal Engine or placing these in-game, whatever you find easier really. If this did help guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Have a great day guys.